Now at 10, a man facing a slew of animal abuse charges after a bizarre request.
It was a unique form of cruelty.
Only First Alert 4 hearing from the employee who sounded the alarm.
They were covered in their own waste. They were covered in some sort of sawdust.
Thieves snipping wires and cutting off critical communication.
We lost phone service for about 4 days.
The attacks one company is calling domestic terrorism in your backyard.
It's a problem.
Tributes honoring William Lacey Clay Sr. and the legacy he leaves behind.
I had the fortunate opportunity to call a mentor.
I'm talking to those who knew Missouri's first black congressman best, including his son.
Yeah, and he had such an amazing life, amazing career, you know.
Live from First Alert 4, this is a breaking news alert.
We start this hour with breaking news out of South City. St. Louis police investigating a gun battle tonight with 5 people shot, most of them juveniles. First Alert 4's John Kipper is live in Tower Grove South. And John, you just heard from police minutes ago. What have you found out?
Yeah, Morgan, well, police say about 3 hours ago, a gun battle raged on in this parking lot of a car repair shop behind me, right off Morgan Ford and Beck. Now, police say in total they have found 5 people in total that have been shot. They're all in the hospital right now in stable condition. Now, Major Janice Bockstruck with SLMPD says this all happened sometime around 7 p.m. and when police arrived, the group fled from the area. But in total, they did find 5 people were shot, 3 of them juveniles. Now, you can probably see a car behind me. Police say that car was stolen last week and they're trying to investigate right now its connection to the shooting here tonight. And police also add there is surveillance footage for them to go through. That's all I have right now, but reporting in South City, John Kipper, First Alert 4.
He shouldn't be around them. Like, on his own, privately, as a business, they shouldn't be involved in animal care at all. Because that was one of the worst things I've seen.
Only First Alert 4 is hearing from a woman about a horrific sight she saw on the job and her actions, which could be what saved several dogs' lives. This is First Alert 4 at 10. I'm Morgan Harris. Sam and Corey have the night off. A man who traveled across state lines and tried to have several dead dogs cremated is behind bars. Tonight, an employee who sounded the alarm is only speaking to our Kimberly Donahue about the horror she laid her eyes on.
Morgan, Kelly Everson told me in the 2 years she's worked at St. Louis Cremation, she's never witnessed as concerning of a situation as this. She hopes others may have the confidence to tell someone if they see something of concern.
It was a unique form of cruelty.
Kelly Everson says she was at work at St. Louis Cremation Friday evening when coworkers approached her, concerned about a man wanting to cremate a dog.
He arrived in a very large, very hot box truck, which is not usually how you see animals safely transported, but it also seemed like there were more than one deceased dog on there.
She says the driver was 38-year-old Robert Peters. He is now charged with 9 felony counts of animal abuse by torture and 7 misdemeanor counts of animal abuse. According to the probable cause statement, in the back of the box truck, there were, quote, 16 dogs, 4 deceased and 12 alive, but in varying states of health, 5 in stable condition and 7 in critical condition near death.
They were covered in their own waste. They were covered in some sort of sawdust to kind of soak up everything so they wouldn't have to go on breaks, it seems like.
Thursday, nearly a week later, there is still sawdust sprinkled across the parking lot. Court documents say Peters told officers he and his wife, who both live in Oklahoma, own an animal transportation business.
They were on their way, at the very least, to New Jersey. And I don't know what they were going to tell people when they arrived there, because those dogs were not going to be in good condition.
This is not the first incident Peters is connected to involving dogs. Law enforcement officials in Oklahoma recently told the CBS affiliate in Oklahoma City back in May a family dog mauled Peters' 6-year-old son to death. There were no charges filed in that case. Everson says she hopes her experiences shows people the importance of speaking up if something doesn't feel right.
If you see someone or something getting hurt, you should tell someone.
Peters is being held at the St. Louis City Justice Center without bond. He had his initial appearance in court Monday and has a detention hearing set for Tuesday. Morgan.
All right, Kim, thank you. Now on to a live look at First Alert 4 radar as storms move out of the area. Meteorologist Leah Hill is in for Steve tonight, tracking the next round of rain, Leah.
Yeah, we're no longer in a First Alert weather day, guys. The concerning storms have all exited the area, but it was an active night. We did have a couple of warnings and just a lot of heavy rain, even some potting on the roadways as these storms rolled through. Now the radar is very quiet. There's just this tiny shower that's moving into Marion County, Fayette County, getting hit with a little bit of that rain. It's not going to be long before this also fizzles out. Our temperatures anywhere from the lower 70s in Afton to upper 70s in St. Louis. Here's what we can expect out the door tomorrow morning. I'm giving the forecast the green light. There will be a shower or two to the south. Most of us just dealing with some cloud cover. Do watch for some patchy fog in the morning. I don't expect it to be widespread, but visibility in some areas may be a little bit lower. Temperatures starting on the comfortable side in the mid 70s, but we have some potential alert days coming up next week. Not because of storm chances, this time because of heat. We haven't declared any yet, but we're watching a building heat wave. When it arrives, that's in my First Alert forecast.
All right, Leah, we'll circle back. Thank you. First Alert 4 is following an attack on communication systems that is crippling businesses and homes around the country and right here in the St. Louis area. Thieves cutting copper wire and looking for a payday are snipping through cables and severing internet connections. Our Russell Kinsall reports on the crimes one company is calling an act of domestic terrorism.
It's a problem. July 1st, copper thieves stole AT&T communications lines from this neighborhood at Autumn Oaks Drive and Highway 6167 in Imperial.
Throw a ladder up, cut it, throw it in the back of a truck, and they're gone.
The thieves inadvertently cut fiber optic line also.
I work from home.
Since the fiber line was cut, Kelly Stefanis has noticed a difference in her Wi-Fi connection.
Trying to input the information and get the results, it's a lot slower than it used to be.
This year, Spectrum has seen an epidemic of criminal attacks on its fiber optic infrastructure from thieves looking for copper. The impact of these severed optic lines goes way beyond slow Wi-Fi or the loss of internet service. According to the St. Louis office of the FBI, these crimes are disrupting critical emergency services and creating potentially life-threatening situations. Jim McKee is a cybersecurity expert with Red Sky Alliance. He says physical damage to fiber optic systems can have a bigger impact than a cyber attack.
It turns into the ultimate denial of service.
In June, the Hazelwood Police Department lost phone service because of a cut fiber optic line. A fiber line cut had a big impact where Steve Stefanis works.
The fiber optic communication terminal was broken into, and they ripped all the fiber optic lines and copper out of it, so we lost phone service for about 4 days.
Jim McKee asks, is it just thieves looking to make a few bucks from selling scrap copper, or does someone have a specific target in mind?
There's some serious things that can happen if you pull down the right lengths of fiber.
Police are asking anyone who sees suspicious activity involving a Spectrum junction box or overhead communications lines to report it to police. In Jefferson County, Russell Kinsall, First Alert 4.
New details tonight in a hit-and-run case that killed this mother, Jennifer Eggering, in Earth City last month. Now we are getting a look at the driver charged and accused of hitting a motorcycle carrying Eggering and one other person. Corn Adams, there on your screen, is charged with leaving the scene of an accident resulting in death. On June 21st, investigators say as Adams left a gas station near Earth City Expressway in Ryder Trail South, he rode through an intersection and hit a motorcycle. Adams is in jail tonight on a $250,000 bond. He has a bond reduction hearing scheduled for next week. Protests today across the country and here in St. Louis in response to President Trump's immigration raids. This protest was downtown on Market, where those involved hope to send a message to those driving by.
It's a group of people who are here to stand together and share with the people that are driving down Market and are in this area the fact that we are very unhappy with the way our government's being manipulated, and we are here to speak for people who can't.
Tonight, people around the country and especially in St. Louis are mourning William Lacey Clay Sr. Missouri's first black congressman died today at the age of 94. Tonight, his son shares his legacy with me.
his intellect and the way he treated others.
Former Missouri Congressman William Lacey Clay Jr. reflecting on the life of his father, William Lacey Clay Sr.
I began my career in public service with a simple yet profound vision. A vision of what America could be, should be, and what my determined insistence would be.
William Lacey Clay Sr., Missouri's first black congressman, died Thursday at 94 years old. He was born in 1931 and was one of 7 children growing up in downtown St. Louis. Clay graduated from St. Louis University in 1953 and was one of the school's first black graduates. William Lacey Clay Sr. would rise to fame after helping bolster the protest against St. Louis's Jefferson Bank for its lack of black employees. After serving our country in the Army, he became a St. Louis City alderman in 1959.
He had such an amazing life, amazing career, you know, but if you could pick one thing, what do you think he'll be most remembered for?
If I picked one thing, it would probably be his long years of service in the U.S. Congress. 32 years, championed almost 300 pieces of legislation that became law.
Making history, something Clay Sr. did often as the first black congressman from the Show Me State. During his more than 3 decades in Congress, Clay Sr. helped establish the Congressional Black Caucus, as well as championed and helped secure the Family and Medical Leave Act.
Someone called me today and told me, they said, you know, I wouldn't have been able to take care of my parents when that person's parents got ill if it wasn't for your dad's law.
After retiring in 2001, the congressional seat stayed in the family, with his son, William Lacey Clay Jr., winning the election in Missouri's 1st District.
It's one thing to get elected, sure, but that's only half the battle. Then do something for your community. And so that's the example he set for me and hundreds of others that he helped get into office.
Clay Sr. mentored other politicians like Missouri State Senator Brian Williams, the first African-American man elected to the Missouri Senate in 20 years.
Well, I was heartbroken. You know, he was someone that I had the fortunate opportunity to call a mentor. He was courageous. I mean, the way that he used his intellect to fight for justice was unparalleled.
Congressman William Lacey Clay Sr.'s legacy now inspiring the next generation.
He always reminded me that no matter what the title was, we always had a commitment to serve our community.
My dad really based all of his political decisions on uncompromising principles that he believed in.
But the time has come to recognize the inevitable. No empire, no institution, no individual can last forever.
Lacey Clay Jr. tells me his father will be laid to rest at Arlington National Cemetery. There will be a memorial service in St. Louis later this summer.
I'm tracking some building heats. Extreme heat's heading our way. Heat index topping the triple digits. When to expect it. And that's coming up in my First Alert forecast.
And as we head to